compare the previous one, it's really difficult to go in every detail because it's completely brand new car except the engine. All the other components are completely new, from all the suspension, body shell, any brackets on the car. Every component is different except the engine. I think the main difference for this car it's aerodynamic things because we don't have 3 volumes of the car, it's only 2 volumes. And I think the main difference is for the aero. And I think the aerodynamic point of view, this shape is better than the previous car. Compared to the last year car, the rear overhang is shorter, but the front overhang is slightly bigger. But the main advantage compared to last year car is the wheelbase. The wheelbase is longer, and that is the biggest advantage of this car. No, because it's a global package, and we were working on every details of the car, coming from the gearbox on all the suspension. Things is to save weight everywhere, to put the COG the lowest is possible, and to make the car very stable in the corner. That it was the 3 main objectives. First of all, we worked a lot on the new suspension, overall suspension, and mainly on the damper. And we still have the same damper manufacturer, but it's completely new component in the damper. All the damper are different, and we are working a lot on consistency and reliability. And we spend lots of time in tests with both, and I think we are achieving. We haven't finished the result, but we achieve a really good compromise now. Yeah, it's completely different, and the same is to optimize the stiffness and the protection. We redesign everything, and with the help of all the finite elements and the calculation, and it's completely new. It's difficult to explain because it's any single component on a body shell and in the roll cage is different, and have nothing to compare with the previous one because the car is slightly wider and the floor is different, and we need to adapt all the tube compared to the new car. The main change is coming from the electronics, because we changed the system on electronics and we don't have anymore like a relay and a circuit breaker. Now everything is controlled by electronic and software, and this is the reason that in the middle of the car we have no big dash, and it's just more simple from outside, but the electronics is more complicated. They still have the same switches to control the launch and to control start the engine, some different map for the diffs, and it's still very similar, but they have less switches in front of them to know what happens. The electronic is doing the job for them. Mounting points are slightly different because the chassis leg of this car is different than the other one. That means we need to adapt the engine mount to this chassis. It's exactly the same turbo, same control, same anti-lag system. It's really very similar. And the cooling package is slightly different because it's a new car, but it's exactly the same principle. And that means the intercooler, the radiator, all the fan. It's very similar. Similar print, how it works, but it's very different for the shape, but it's very the same. Engine is exactly the same.